Okay, for the past 2 years, our RTI team has made sure that our grade level teachers have common prep times at least once a week. They discuss things like data, scheduling issues, or if there's the forms of assessments. The following video is an example of a kindergarten team during their common prep time. Enjoy.
Our Ames web data, and I see that John is continuously scoring below average, but when we're working on it in class, he's able to do all the skills. He's counting, he can count to 100 now, but when he's on the Ames web, he's still scoring well below average. So I contacted his parents and just let them know what we're working on, and they're going to work on some of the skills with him at Extreme Team after school as well. He's practicing counting on a chart to 100 and counting by 5s and 10s as well. So that's something that we're going to continue to work on with him.
And too, that could indicate that he can do that, but maybe he just doesn't have mastery, so he does just maybe need some more practice. Because if he can do it, in the classroom, that means that's a really good indication that he has that ability to learn and be able to do that. So maybe some more practice and letting mom and dad.
We just want him to be able to do it consistently,
right.
So to keep practicing. Also with our reading program, do you have any good formative assessments or story comprehension that you're using?
Well, sometimes I like to break down a story instead of the whole thing. It's just like do the beginning, ask them what happened at the beginning, or maybe draw a picture, like the 3 little pigs, what they were doing at the beginning, building their houses, and then, at the middle what happens, and at the end what happens, and sort of like comprehension there is that they're understanding, for stories and things like that. And so I sort of like to break it down, especially with this age group, the younger kids. If you break it down, it's a little bit easier to see that. So something like that, sequencing, a story would maybe help indicate whether they're understanding.
Have you done the story map with them? My kids love that. They thought
right.
That was a lot of fun.
And like a Venn diagram too,
Yeah.
where you could, maybe overlap some parts, what happened here and what, the commonalities and different things. So that's a good thing. I like to use really big.
Okay, perfect. Are you ready for our transition meetings this Thursday? I see you have your list of which kids should go where.
I am, and I understand we just really need to make it short and concise and not talk about those kids that are already receiving services, but those that we have maybe just, some inside information that give them a little extra support, that the teachers will know that, this strategy works best, or, maybe they are really need a little extra help getting organized to begin with, and get started on their work in the morning. So that's what I'm going to focus on, is just those kids that, you know them well by this time of year. Maybe that would just help the next year's teacher know a few of those.
Definitely. I really focused on the behavioral concerns, because if they're getting Title I support, we already know their needs in that area.
Right.
But to give the next year's teachers a heads up on some of the behavioral concerns.
And what has worked in your
what's
classroom
working.
and what hasn't.
All right.